This is the Harboring Light. I'm Mary. I comment and give my perspectives about the world around me from a conservative point of view. Now, I greatly appreciate my listeners. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for your attention. And I would like to tell you, I am growing, as I had mentioned in my previous commentary, my previous episodes. I'm doing all I can to grow the show. And the platforms that I'm currently on, I am on Anchor. I am on Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Audible, and I'm also on Spotify. I failed to mention that in previous episodes, so keep an eye out on Spotify, and even more so with Spotify, they have a community on there where you can make comments and everything you want, talk about the show or what have you. I leave comments on there. Now I want to make this show more interactive, so please feel free to use that and implement that, and so I can be more engaged with all of you. And also, if you like this content, please feel free to share it. It's much appreciated. All right, so let's get into today's topic. Today, we're talking about loving someone or doing something unconditionally. So, from what I observe and what I see in the world around me and my experiences and everything of that nature, that unconditional support, love, and understanding is somewhat of a missing concept. Because some people think that they're loving or supporting someone unconditionally, but in reality, I think from my point of view, this doesn't happen all the time, but unfortunately it happens most of the time. It's conditional. So for instance, let's say a loved one or a friend, let's say says something or does something that you really disagree with, and that stays with you and lingers with you, and you sometimes people can't move past that, and these long connections that they have with their friends or loved ones is tarnished, and they can't, unfortunately, from both sides, when one side realizes something that could be solved to mend the broken tide, the other side might just don't want to go on that same path with them, and then it's vice versa. It's a lot of things that are mingled up with that, and that's really unfortunate. Now, to do something and to want to give something unconditionally means there's no expectations. You just do it just because you do it, because you know you should do it. And if whatever comes your way with that is whatever comes your way with that. But your intentions are just to do it because you know you should. And then I think when you set yourself up in that kind of mentality, it's very freeing. It's very humbling, and it's very balanced and healing. Now, why am I saying all these things? What does this actually mean, what I'm talking about? And to put this in perspective of what this means as a whole to me, it's like this. So when you do something because you know it's coming from a good place and you know it's what you should do anyway, you set yourself off into this thought process to say that the way I want to live my life, I should live my life because I want to bring good, or I want to bring purpose. And then when you start to get yourself into that mentality, you start to understand, okay, let me see what's around me. Let me understand what is this sense of a whole is to be human. And you start to open yourself up to growth. And I think that's a really important thing. So the examples that I have from me personally, and then that I've seen, and outside of my personal experiences, workplace or things of that nature, doing something unconditionally helps you understand prolifically. So, children, for example, and I think it's a beautiful thing when you're able to, let's say, you're able to adopt somebody, or you're able to a circumstance happen to where that child needs help and they have no one else, or circumstance happens to where you're dating someone, or you're married to someone, or what have you, and they have a child, or their relatives have children that they take on that their other relatives fail to not help or support, and they have no one. They just step up and take care of that child because they know they need that guidance. They know they need that stability. Because if they don't have it, so much harm can come from that child and come to that child. And to take the responsibility like that is very humbling, is very noble, because you're saying to that child that you matter, you're worth it, and I'm doing this out of pure care and love for you, and you will always matter despite what will happen or what can happen in this life. You will always matter because I'm here to remind you of that. And when a child has that kind of understanding that despite what can happen in circumstances, that they matter, they start to see themselves in a different light, to where they understand that despite obstacles, they can achieve. And when you have that kind of mentality, you can't be controlled. You start to think clearer. You start to levitate towards things that are clearer. You start to do things that are really structured, orderly, things that can benefit you, can help you in the long run. And then expand that out to that child becoming an adult, they start to take those sort of values with them in the world, and they innovate things possibly, or they become captains of their industry. There are so many positive things can come from that by just simply doing something unconditionally because you know you should do it. You know it's the right thing to do. Now, said that to extend that out to things outside that the family, which that's a personal experience that I have seen and understood greatly. And let's take that even more so to the work site, or to whatever sort of work site or career path or what have you that you want to think about in this scenario. So let's say that you have a coworker or a boss that without you asking or without you saying something, they just simply say, "How's your day? How are you doing today?" Because they know they should do it. They just want to engage with you, and engage with you, and they want to just simply, they just care about people's well-being. Now, that's psychologically beneficial because you start to boost up the morale, and people want to feel like that, okay, that's really nice. That's I have a sense of that I have value here with this company. And it's just an overall good thing. Or for another example, let's say they take the understanding, the patience, and the time to replace things when they need to be replaced. Nobody has to go to them and say, "I need this. This is because I can't do this properly without this." They try to see these things. They try to observe these things, and they just do it because they know they should do it. Or something along the lines of that, or something as simple as, replacing pens, or something as different or grand as simply supplying and giving their employees breakfast every Saturday of each month, or giving lunch every so often, or just doing things like that. That's very helpful. That's very beneficial, because people start to understand and realize that, we do matter to these people. We do matter to this company. They start to feel, I think, from my point of view, a sense of community, and they want to work harder. They want to do more things, and that's really beneficial. And I believe that once you understand the heart of that, you can help with healing and growth, and being able to connect with people in a better way. So, as far as differences and misunderstanding and not feeling like you can communicate or voice your opinions start to become less and less of an issue. I think you start to see that not this is simply from my point of view and what I observe in my opinion. I think you start to see things as a means that we are all connected in some sort of way, and then we're all human, and if we want to come to a better solution, we can. We just have to work these things out. And I think a lot can be said from seeing someone do something unconditionally and knowing someone is doing something unconditionally. And I mean, we all have and to the opposite of that, of the unfortunate reality of people thinking that unconditional is loving someone despite loving someone even though, well, not despite when they're harming them psychologically or physically. That's really where lines get blurred with. It's really important to understand what does unconditional mean. And all this sense of brokenness and depression and all kinds of psychological damage that comes from that, it's not helpful at all, because at the heart of it, trying to stick to something that is not good for you is missing the point of what unconditional truly should be and truly what it means. And that's why I think it's important to understand all those things and to self-reflect and to guide yourself on wellness and see what and learn and go through all these different journeys to understand what unconditional truly is. And that's why it's important to know that words mean something. They truly mean something, and to understand what you're actually saying, it means something, and to start going beyond what is emotionally thought about a certain concept or what have you, to understand what these aspects mean. And we're all human, and we all have these faults, and it's not good to just ignore that and to not understand that from misunderstanding things, and good things can happen from that, because it can, if you want it to. I think if you want to go on that journey, understanding that okay, well, I'm not really getting this. This is not really what I thought this meant, or what have you. You come on a better side of it if you want to challenge yourself and understand what it actually means to do this, or actually means to do that. And then I think that really goes back to why it's important to understand at the heart of the matter what unconditional truly means. And, on that note too, on the flip side of unconditional and conditional, there is a place for that. That it's really important to have conditions in relationships, to have whether it's personal or business or what have you, because people need to understand boundaries. They need to understand where things matter. And then once you get your head around that, you can start to have a better relationship and a better understanding of the self and the world around you, I think, into where you see yourself fit into everything. And I think it's important to have these sort of conversations because you start to develop and grow your understanding of the human condition. And I think we start to see that we're more alike than different. And then in our differences, that's what makes us rich. And it's just the reward of being human, I think. So, that being said, I'm reaching the end of this particular topic. This is the Harboring Light. Hope you enjoy what you just heard.